What just happened to Glen Powell's career? Hot off massive hits like Gun Maverick and Twisters, he was pegged as Hollywood's next big leading man. So when he teamed up with visionary director Edgar Wright for a $100 million reboot of The Running Man, everyone expected a blockbuster. Instead, it was a box office disaster, making only $17 million in the US on its opening weekend. So what went wrong? Let's break down how this surefire hit stumbled so badly at the finish line. From a distance, this movie had everything going for it. A rising star in Glen Powell, a beloved cult director in Edgar Wright, and a classic Stephen King story. The studio even gave it a prime November release date, the same weekend that often launches James Bond movies. But behind the scenes, a perfect storm was brewing. The first major problem was a massive leadership change at Paramount, the studio behind the film. The new executives who inherited The Running Man reportedly just weren't fans of the movie. When the people at the top aren't excited about a project, it can spell doom. This lack of enthusiasm trickled down to the marketing department, which was also going through its own shakeup. The head of marketing left just as the promotional campaign should have been kicking into high gear. The new boss didn't arrive until a month before the movie's release. In the meantime, with job cuts looming, the marketing team was in limbo, unsure who to take direction from. This delay meant crucial parts of the campaign were never fully implemented. We heard that marketing dollars were even cut when it became clear the movie was untracking well with audiences. The early trailers, which focused on the simple idea of the world against Glen Powell, just weren't connecting. By the time the new marketing chief, Josh Goldstein, came in, it was a last-minute scramble. He's known for pulling off miracles, and he tried his best, pushing out new trailers that targeted different demographics and highlighted the movie's themes. But it was too little, too late. Then came the reviews. While they weren't terrible and were actually better than its main competitor, they criticized the film's social satire. That's when advance ticket sales took a nosedive. And speaking of competitors, The Running Man got completely blindsided. The surprise #1 movie that weekend was Now You See Me 3. The magician heist movie appealed to a much broader, more female-driven audience. The Running Man, with its R rating and sci-fi action, primarily attracted older men. It turns out that a PG-13 rating and a 4-quadrant appeal can be more powerful than a niche R-rated action flick, even with a big star. So, is this the end of Glen Powell as a leading man? Sources close to the film say absolutely not. Powell is known for being incredibly involved and dedicated to promoting his movies, much like Tom Cruise or Ryan Reynolds. In fact, his appeal to Middle America was one of the film's few strengths, helping it perform evenly across the country, not just in the coastal cities where sci-fi usually does well. This failure wasn't about the star. It was a cascade of bad timing, corporate shakeups, and a flawed marketing strategy. But the failure of The Running Man raises a bigger, more worrying question for Hollywood. Is the era of rebooting 80s sci-fi cult classics over? We've seen this before with Tron, Ares, and Blade Runner 2049, expensive, visually stunning films with top talent that just couldn't find a massive audience. It seems unless you're a mega franchise like Dune, reviving these older niche properties is a huge gamble. And let's be honest, the original Running Man from 1987 wasn't even a huge hit back then. So why remake it in the first place? It seems Hollywood's nostalgia machine might be running out of gas. What do you think? Were you excited for The Running Man, or is Hollywood rebooting the wrong movies? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of movies. See you next time.